Okay, Keith, go
Hi
on.
there.
Hello again. Oh my God.
Um, well,
Mhm.
you were actually kind of delving into some of the some of where I wanted to go with it. The idea of meaning. Um,
Yeah.
and I
Mm.
was wondering if, and I had thought that maybe I was mixing up reason and purpose, but maybe what I don't know, maybe I'm mixing or whatever, but maybe what I'm mixing up is meaning and purpose because it seems like that there's an experience, so there's a purpose for that experience. Rather, it is just we are divine who has folded in on themselves to have an experience. There's still, it seems to me that even just that is a purpose for whatever this is that is going on, right? You know what I mean? Like, I,
Yeah, but when there's I am here somewhere, and there's seeing the world as real and all that, there is an experience, there is purpose, there's all that. Life is really, really simple. It's a hand. That's it. So there's no purpose. There's hand. What is the purpose? That's it's so simple. It's so singular, and it's even not real. So it's an appearance of hand. It's that or a feeling, and it's that. No, it's not. But it seems like there's in time, because that's what we can abstract with the brain. There's a ability to abstract everything. So that makes it into, we can understand what meaning is and purpose and all that. But it's on top of what's going on, and this is talking really, really literally about what's going on. So saying, when they're saying meaning, it's assuming that it's a kind of knowing. It's a story. There's no meaning. Yeah, what is that? Or that we can abstract. It's like animals. This is just that, and we can abstract, so we can understand all meaning and all that. That still goes on, but there's no importance in that anymore.
okay, okay. I think I just got it. It just clicked. I see.
Yeah.
So it's that um the experience itself within this like 3D world that we experience in and of
Mm.
itself is is what you're saying is meaningless. That there is no
Yeah.
purpose because in the end, because it's all empty space. It's all really nothing. It's all
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that actually clicked with me. I
Yeah.
understand that. That this I just to kind of go off from there a little bit. I find it fascinating that this idea of oneness has become such a so prevalent in society these days that people have really taken to it and have um, had some pretty amazing changes just from the simple insight that we are all the same source. That you are me having your own experience. You know what I mean? That this
No, I'm
idea.
not having my own experience. There are no people. There are, when
Right,
there are
right, right, right.
there are bodies, but there's nothing in it. There are no
Right, 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 right,
individuals.
right, right,
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
yeah.
But in that emptiness is where the oneness resides. Is that correct? In that,
No, that seems like two. Now, oneness is life. Is, you can say life or oneness. It's the same. But oneness is, yeah. When we're talking about that, it's becoming something. I don't know. It's, what is oneness? I can't even say that.
sure,
It's,
sure,
everything is singular, so
right.
that's one, and there's no two. And we are normally, when there's, I'm living my life in the story and all that. There's always two. There's right and wrong, and direction and time and meaning maybe, and to me and all that. And then saying no, there's no one inside. But there's also, the body isn't real, so there can be hand. That's what's happening apparently. without meaning, without doesn't go anywhere. That's the freedom also. It's also the joy. There's no reason. It's not going anywhere. It's not about something. It's not divine or anything. It's what it is. Not saying it is, yeah, it's what it is. That people say that when that's something not nice, people say, oh, it's what it is.
It
When
is
it's
what it is. My
something
understanding.
nice, when it's
Yeah.
really, really, people don't say that. Oh, that's funny also. It's like, no, of course not. It's not saying that to yourself. That's something else, of course. Yeah.
Does it occur to you to use the word God in relation to that?
But when there's using God, it can be confusing because God is there's so many ideas about God. So sometimes that's confusing. Well, one life and God, if that's the same, then you can use the word God. Yeah. What there's so many ideas about what God is, or God is apart from us, or looking at us, so I wouldn't use that so much. I wouldn't use
Some
that.
people say that behind the reality is silence or
No,
stillness
there is no behind. There is no behind. That's already two.
prior to.
No, there's also no prior because there's no time.
Is there a source?
No.
There's
Yeah,
no,
no, it's a no source. No, because then that seems like from the source it's coming. That's two. It's not. It's it's a hand. What are we talking about? It's very, very, very simple and singular. It's hand. It's grass. It's walling. It's that. You don't need to know it. There's no need for anything. Not knowing, not naming it, not understanding it. It doesn't need anything. It's already what is going on.
so a word like awareness is the same. There's no point even using a word awareness, which is very. Rupert Spira uses this word awareness a lot, or he used the word
Mm.
knowing, I think, knowingness.
Yeah, but that's part of how I see it is part of the story. Awareness is in the story
Yes.
of me. And when that's lost, when everything is lost, when then suddenly there's also no awareness. The funny thing is, it's not noticed because that awareness is always busy with how is this and how can we feel that? How can we deal? All that. When that's lost, there's nothing going on. There's nothing being busy with it. It's just what's happening, like children. There's no need. We are thinking that being busy with it and trying to work it out or trying to deal with it or feel like, oh, what's the best way? That's very important. It's only thoughts. They don't go anywhere. They don't have any meaning or power. It's just another energy going on, which seems really important. It has no use at all. It's not wrong, but can be there, but it doesn't change anything. It's what is when there's change. That's how things are going. Seems like there's a change because we think in time, so there's a before and after.
So if there's oneness, you could use the word illusion because that covers it. The whole thing is illusion, and that would be oneness.
No, but I wouldn't say illusion because there's seeing trees, there's feelings. It's an appearance, but it's not an illusion. It's just what's happening. It's also full on.
The great masters, they say it's like a film. You have a light shining onto a screen with various shapes. The light isn't a shape actually. It's just it, but as it falls on a screen, it appears to form a shape on a screen. And then they say that the enlightened person can really see the screen, and they're not deluded by the light. So there's,
Mm.
I guess, the picture is not real. What you use the word not real, and the screen is real. But does it
No, nothing is real. Nothing is real.
even
For
the
me, it's
screen?
that it's for me it's a bit complicated. I don't even understand that very well. It's complicated. It's so simple. It's a cup of tea. What is there to know or to understand? It's that. And then there's something else. It doesn't have any, nothing has any meaning. It hasn't, it doesn't go anywhere. It's already that cup of tea. That's it. There's no need to know if it's a screen or all that. It's that, and it's not for anyone. It's also not seeing someone because where is that someone? They're seeing a face. That's everything. Assuming that there's someone inside. No, I don't see that. So it's very literally.
You use the word not real, but that implies
Yeah.
that you see something real.
When there's me and I'm living in the story, then everything seems so solid and real. Yeah, like the feeling is really there. And then suddenly there can be some moment, or you could say that, and it suddenly is like, oh, pain, let's say pain. It's there, and it's in the same time it's not there. Oh, it's not real. It's an appearance. Oh, that's so strange. How can you explain that? I don't know how to explain that. But it's suddenly like, oh, it's like that. So this is more a sharing of what's going on.
But people who realize your state consider or assume you somehow see reality.
No, but there's no Rose. What's lost is that there's Rose, that there's a life of Rose, that there's someone inside, and it's not only someone inside. That the whole body isn't real, also. So there's no Rose. Then she never existed. There can be Rose in the story, still goes on. That's the strange thing too. But in the same time, there never was Rose. No, that's the story. But that what's lost is that whole being busy with it and assuming that it's solid and real and I have to make my life work, all that. It doesn't arise. It's not seeing the world different, the world of whatever, the trees or all that differently. It's obvious that that's not real in a way, but it's also seeing trees in that way. It's making someone special when they're saying, "Oh, she's enlightened," or he. It's making into special and something I don't have that, or I'm not there yet, or all things like that. It's completely something else. It's like that. It's already like that. There can be a misunderstanding, assuming that I'm here, and then it's not wrong. It's just a belief can be there, or thoughts can be there. But it's already complete as it is. But when there's the story of me, there's always subtly something going on. This isn't right yet, or I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. Always, all that coloring is there. It's so, and that's so embodied. So that the story of becoming is so strong. And then there's hearing, no, there's no need for anything. That's strange because that's how most people see that. There's nowhere to go. It's already exactly how it's going. It's already complete as it is. That's the freedom, the joy also. Yeah. Can be feeling, it's exactly that. It's exactly everything. It doesn't matter what it is. And it's also very obvious that when there are circumstances, they seem to cause feelings or all that or something in your life. It's it's always the same story. It's always the feeling for, oh, I'm not enough. Oh, I did something wrong. Oh, maybe I should do this and that. Oh, I'm not good enough. It's in every story. It's the same. So hey, there's something else going on. It's not about circumstances. Oh, it's not about me either. Hey, what is that? There's no one. And circumstances don't cause anything. It's nothing causes anything. There's no why or because.
They use this term self-realization, like you realize that is you.
This is not this is not a realization. Has nothing to do with the realization. This is about loss. The loss is only in the story. When there's the story going on, I'm living my life and all that, and suddenly that stops, and there's suddenly, oh, there is no Rose even. There's nothing going on. It's the loss of everything.
So
There's
you
no
could
one.
you could say that you realize complete safety. I mean, I'm trying to imagine what it must be like, but
You never will.
if that
You
falls away,
can't. You
if that
can't.
falls away, then you're left with complete. There's no possibility of being personally damaged.
No, it's not about safety, because that's what we normally think of longing for, maybe. It's free fall. It's everything. There's nothing, there's no escape from anything. There's just whatever is happening is that. There's nothing going on trying to change it. It doesn't arise. So there can be fear, panic can be there, sweating can be there. Yeah. Very
But,
normal in that way also.
but fear is unreal. I think that's what you're saying.
Sorry there?
Uh, Even if you experience fear or panic, you would automatically know that panic is not real.
No, it's not knowing. That's strange. Well, it feels very panic can really strong, and there's nothing going on like, oh, this is not real. No, it's full on. There's no escape, and then there's nothing on top of that aware of saying something about, no, it's not real or something. Nothing. It's just full on,
So
and
you
after a while, it's gone.
you experience full on.
No, it's not an experience. It's panic. When there's panic, it's full on panic. It's not for anyone. There's no story with that, but there's panic. Can be. Yeah.
Usually enlightened beings are beyond fear. That's what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what people want. They're not experiencing fear anymore and hate and all that feelings and trying to feel only love. No, it's everything. This is talking about it's everything. All, and that's what I'm saying. It's already. So it's everything. So when there's it's everything, then it's really everything, not with a capital, just normal everything. There's no difference. It's just there are no borders. There's no here is someone and there is someone else. No, no. It's whatever is happening. Can be feelings or the table. It's not about Rose or someone else that we are so busy with how do I feel and what's going on in my life and busy with that. That's completely lost. There's no my life. No, there's no Rose.
Do you ever
That's the freedom.
wonder why other beings cannot see things your way?
Well, I'm not seeing things my way. I'm not busy with other people too. But it's just what's happening. So there's no, it's the wonder of what's going on. A flower or something can be a wonder of, how is this? Like that. Well, that's more it. Yeah. there are no other people, so no.
So you're not compelled to write poetry. Doesn't this not?
No, yeah, it can. There could be. It's not so much what I'm doing, but there can be people. Some people do, maybe. I don't know. That can be different.
The Buddha practiced. He recommended the practice of what he called mindfulness, and mindfulness is.
But there can't be a practice because there's no one. So that's already finished here. There's who's practicing? Who's choosing to practice? There's no one. So, and it's everything. This is not, that is not better than this. It's everything. So there's nowhere to go. That's, yeah. There's somebody asking something. It's all right. I will. Hi, Anita.
Hi dear. Um, yeah, there is no you or me or we, but could you say we are leaded by this light?
No, that's two. So not, there's no we.
Yeah, there is no we, but so to speak. Yeah, otherwise I don't know how to express.
But there's no leading. There's there's no light where we are going to or all that. That's what's happening. So it's sitting. It's much more simple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not happening for you, because that's what we think, that it's happening to me, because that's the normal way of how we used to live our lives, and it's happening to me. Or maybe I can say there's no one inside, but it's, yeah, some subtly can be like it's happening to me. There's no one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's tea, cup of tea. That's everything. Or a feeling.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh wait, the chat. I have no chats here. Empty images too. There's no rows, and when asking a question, it can be assumed that there's a knower in there. Yeah, there's no knower. That's strange, because that's what we normally assume, that there's someone who knows everything, that this is talking from a knowing or wisdom or something like that. This is arising. It's like everywhere else, and it seems like this has meaning and we believe it's important. This is not important. It's already, so there's nowhere to go. That what is going on is already everything and complete. So there's nowhere to go. There's no need for anything else. That what is happening, there can be a feeling of or anything, then that's what's happening. This is not about feeling good or having a good life or all that. That's completely out of the window. It's everything. So it can be anything: pain, illness, floors, houses. It's not about us. Life is not about people and individuals. That we are so sure of that. That's a belief. It's so embodied that there's someone inside. There's nothing. It's nothing, and it's appearing as trees and chairs and feelings. That's the freedom. That's unconditional love. Treeing, feelings, thoughts. It is. It doesn't go anywhere. It is. And then there's these people that can abstract and seeing like time and distance, and it seems like, oh, it's happening to me and my story, and then it seems like, oh, it's not going well, what can I do about it? And then the whole story starts. So nowhere to go, in a way, is freedom. Yeah, it's nowhere to go. It is. It's also no escape, because that's what me, that whole me construct, is trying to escape from pain and awful feelings, maybe, and trying to feel good all the time, or happy, or being loved, or all that. There's no escape. So when there's any feeling that can be panic or any feeling, but that feeling is happening, you could say in space, it's happening. It's not happening to someone. That's the misunderstanding, because we believe it's I am here, and when that feeling is there, it's happening to me, and how can I deal with that? Because I think it's because of that, and all that whole story, and then it's trying to deal with it in the story, and it becomes very complicated. This is very simple. It's so simple and ordinary. Hmm. And it's already, it's the only thing there is, so you can't miss it. You can say, I don't want it. That's what normally is happening. Yeah.
No, Rose, what you're saying is it's freedom already.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
it whatever it is freedom already, like the wind. It
Yeah. Yeah. Or a feeling, or the table. It isn't, has not, we assume that it has meaning and it is important or not important and all that. That's the complication. It has to go like this, then it's good. And when it's going like that, it's not good. All that. Yeah. There's no right and wrong. That's also part of the story.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
I kind of thinking through a lot of the stuff that you've been saying, coming from the coming strictly from the human experience, is it safe to say that this is sort of a boy, I can see how you're going to tear this apart. But is it kind of safe to say that it's sort of a practice of active disassociation with the experience, because the experience in and of itself isn't real?
But me is always busy trying to make it into something. That there's only feeling, and I'm making it into, oh, this is why I'm feeling it. Oh, this is so awful. Oh, why? Oh, this is because of course she said that to me, and now I'm feeling like, all that. So it's always making it into something else, and then it becomes really solid and real, and you're having to deal with that and all that. So being someone is a is a hard thing to do, because it's always trying to deal with everything what's happening to me, and it seems always very real and solid, and it's like that. It's a no, in a way it's also a knowing, you could say, but you don't know. It's what's there can be a feeling. That's everything. It can be cold. Yeah, maybe there's doing something or not doing something. Well, that's also what's happening. It's not a choice. Nothing is a choice. And we are so into making everything like, oh, this is because of that, this is why, and all that, because that makes everything a bit more safe. And then you can deal with it. There's some control. And because when there's no safety, when there's no control, it's like free fall. It's like you don't know what's going to happen. Oh my God. So that me is trying to control everything and name it and know it. And knowing is a big thing also in the story. This is not knowing. I'm not. We don't know what. In a way, you could say there's not knowing what will happen. In a way, everybody knows in a way, but that's so panic. That will be panic, because then it's completely not knowing. Anything can happen. But the freedom is that it's not happening to you. There's no one inside. There's even no one existing. That's even worse, because people think like, oh, but this is my life, and I have this is my story, and I was born, and I have photos and all that. So I can prove I exist, and that's confirming. There's a need for confirming all the time that I exist, and I'm busy with that. And when that's lost, in those meetings can be also that it's not that much confirmed. So that whole feeling of I am someone, it's not confirmed, and it's a bit scrambling down, because it needs confirming, so that it's like, oh, what there's only feelings, maybe, or the table doesn't go anywhere. Life, it is. Ida, I saying, where are you now? I'm just talking in the story. I'm on holiday. Yeah, I'm staying in a small house from somebody near the beach. Yeah. And there can be a lot of thoughts. And there are a lot of thoughts. There seems to have meaning and purpose and importance and all that. There can be a belief of that. There's nothing wrong with that. It can be, it's a lot of energy. So it can be exhausting to be busy with everything, trying to work it out and make it right. So there's no control. There is already no control. That's so strong that we believe, like people believe in, we have control and we can think about, we can decide what's going on. And because I decided that, that will go on, that will happen. It has nothing to do with the decision. It's happening, or it's maybe not happening. You don't know. It has nothing to do with you. There is no you. Life doesn't see you or us. No, it's energy going chaotic like that. And we try to make it logic in a way, our logic. There's no logic. No. Sometimes it seems like logic can be. So all the things like responsibility and guilt and all that is completely lost. There can be pain and irritation and all that, what feelings, what that idea of that there's something wrong, I did something wrong, is completely out of the window. There can't be doing something wrong. There's no one. So it's innocence. It's innocence. No, that doesn't mean it's right. It's innocence. There's no one. It can be pain, of course. And there's no time, so there's no before. There's no before or after. There's no here or there. It's all that two is just one. Hand, feelings, table, trees, sitting. And then suddenly it's like, oh, we're so looking for something and a good feeling and a state of something and a state of maybe happiness or freedom or feeling free and all that. They're looking for something else. And then suddenly that it's sitting. Oh, already. Oh, that's the freedom. It's already it never was not there. Or it's not lost. It's just the only thing there is. But so focusing on this is real and why and all that. And then, oh, it's sitting. Table. Oh, so close. So closer than close. So intimate. It's just amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Rose. Take care. You have to go. Thanks. This is already unconditional love. There's only unconditional love. This is everything. Sharing, treeing, feelings. It's singular, so it's everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It seems like there's circumstances, but it's a tree, a car. It's that, and it seems happening in time because it's very fast and all that, it's changing. So we assume that everything is in time, we can understand that. But already time is a strange thing. When there's thinking about yesterday, it's already something like, did it really happen? It's so strange to remember. It can be a strong remembering, or maybe it's not that strong. So time is, there's no time. It's a construct. There's also no distance. It's not here and there. So that's the only thing we know. We seem to have distance and time because everything seems to happen to us and there are circumstances happening to us. No, there's no one.
So there's no motion either.
No, only in the story. Yeah. It doesn't have any meaning. Just that.
So is that what you say? No time, no distance, no motion. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, there can be, there's that story too. So there can be walking walking to a restaurant or something like that. But at the same time, there's nothing going on. So how can you say how that is? I can't tell you how that is. But it's not a knowing of that. It's that. It's not a seeing in a certain way. Because there's no Rose, so there's no experience. There's nothing busy with what's going on. That's lost. It's lost. It's just not arising. So there's nothing special about Rose. There is no Rose. But there's also no other individuals already. But there can be a big belief, an embodied belief that there's someone inside here, and this is what I did in my life, and there was something happening before, and there can be like cause and effect, and I did something and all that. It's a story, and that belief can be very strong and busy with it and all that. So there are a lot of ideas about how to deal with that. Maybe there are feelings about it. It's this. There can be feelings, but those feelings are not related. Nothing is related. And that's in the story of me. There's everything is related. It's happening to me. I am here, you are there because of that and all that. There's no relation. There are no relations. There's no one. It's what it is. Hand, watch, everything, feelings. It's this. There's no before. There's nothing before. There's this. We can be busy with the past or what happened or with the future. Where is that? Where's the world? There's no world. There's this. There's everything. There's no behind or within. No.
There's a teacher in India called Ramana Maharshi who used to spend much of his time not really speaking. It was in silence, and it seemed to be his preferred way of speaking, preferred way of teaching. I wonder if you would agree. Is that you seem to, in a way, prefer that? Maybe that's the best way to transmit the message.
But it's not even a message. It's that can be saying that, but in a way, it's there's no message, there's no teaching, because everything is already complete. So there's no individual. So I'm not speaking to someone, and there's no Rose who's having wisdom sharing that, or no, they're speaking. It's so out of the story. So it's so, in a way, it's impossible to say how it is. But there's no teaching. It's complete as it is. So it's hand, it's a cup of tea. It's already that. There's nowhere to go. It has nothing to do with all those explanations and knowings what we read about and all that. It's humans that can complicate and understand and making stories about what has to go and this has to do with that, and we are not right because there's somewhere there's that feeling of there's something gone wrong and we have to make it right, or there's something not complete, or we're not satisfied, or you did something wrong, and you have to make it right, or you have to um, make yourself better into that. Finally you reach enlightenment, things like that, and that's the final state of everything and all, because this is not enough. There are normal people, we are not, we are silly ones, and it's not enough. There's no difference, there can be this phase or that phase. It's different, it's unique, but that's everything. There's nothing better than something else. There's nothing more or less or all that. That's part of the story of me, because when there's me, there's always a feeling of, oh, this is not, I'm not good enough, so it's trying to make it right. And there can be all kind of ways to compare, to manipulate, to anything, that trying to feel better about yourself and go into the world and feel better. There's so many ways and trying to do that. And then there's here this talking, it's not seeing someone. So that whole idea of trying and be better and all that is completely out of the window. It has no value at all. There's no one, it's not seeing someone, they're seeing a face, or a feel, can be a feeling, or there can be walking. It's singular, so it doesn't go anywhere. It's not even real. It's an appearance of everything. It doesn't need to see that, all that. It's also the same story. You need to see that and then all that. There's no time. There's no development also, because there's no one. It's already complete as it is. It's hand. It's a cup of tea. It's sitting. It's this face or another face. It's exactly that. It can't be wrong. It can't be right either. It's what it is. That's the beauty. That's the stunning of life. It's the freedom. It's exactly what it is. So there's nowhere to go. It's this. Thank you. Thank you for staying in this whole internet story. Hmm. Ah, even de opname.